You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips Podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today, Jason Bay, the Chief Revenue Officer of Blissful Prospecting, is back with yet another solid tip.
So one of the big things that I see, one of the big trends that I really don't like right now is how easy it is to spot when someone is sending you a sequence, whether that be through LinkedIn and it's automated or through email. It's becoming very easy to spot the sequence. And the reason why that is a problem is people start to get really desensitized to your sequences. And even if the content is good, if it feels like a sequence, people don't matter. It makes us feel like, hey, this wasn't really for me. This wasn't really that intentional. I don't think this person actually spent the time to do the personalization or add the relevance that they say that they're adding in this email. So what we need to do is figure out how to, because I'm not against sequences, I'm not against automating the follow-up. What we need to do is make it feel more personable. And I want to talk about how to do that. So in my experience writing hundreds of email sequences for clients over the last couple of years and for ourselves, is that when I create a sequence, and let's say it has 6 emails in it, and I hit send, there's no accountability for me in the follow-ups. And what I mean by that is that email number 2, if it's not great, I don't ever see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. It'll get sent, and I don't even have to think twice about it. What I've done in the past and what I currently do that works really well when we're first testing a sequence is we push out the emails manually. So every single one of the emails we push out manually. And it doesn't mean that we don't create a sequence in Outreach or SalesLoft or whatever you're using. What we do is we create the sequence and we make all of the manual tasks to push through. You don't need to do this forever. Just do this the first couple dozen, maybe 2 or 3 dozen emails that you send until you start getting some responses. And what you're going to find, I guarantee you, is that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth email that you send, you're going to change it up because you're going to go to send that email and it's going to feel out of context. It's going to feel like, this doesn't feel good to send right now because I don't think this has enough value in it. You're going to find all kinds of stuff like this when you avoid automating the entire sequence right away and making it an out of sight, out of mind. So the action, what I want you to try if your sequences are struggling, and by struggling, I mean if less than 3 to 6% of the total amount of prospects you reach out to on a weekly basis are scheduling a meeting, your sequence can improve. Turn the automation off. Turn the automation off for a day. Try it for a couple dozen emails. Whatever it is, test it. Use that to create a new sequence and force yourself to write stuff on the spot and be in the moment, and then automate that.
Now, turn off your own automation right now. And before you mindlessly move on to the next episode or the next podcast, click over to dailysales.tips/367 and connect with Jason on LinkedIn. And while you're on the page, join the podcast listener list so I can send you any video you choose from the last Sales Success Summit. Then, and only then, come on back tomorrow for another great sales tip. Thanks for listening.